A Pentagon report submitted to the US Congress has flagged China's claims over India's Arunachal Pradesh as part of its stated core interests. It has also underscored Beijing's broader national strategy aimed at achieving the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation by the year 2049. The report further notes that the Chinese leadership's core interests will include Taiwan, sovereignty, claims and maritime disputes in the South China Sea, the Senkaku Islands, and the northeastern Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh. It cites Chinese officials having described the unification of China and the contested territories as a natural requirement for national rejuvenation and not open to negotiation or compromise. The Chinese Communist Party, the report says, remains highly sensitive to any perceived threat to its rule, whether external or domestic. In fact, to reinforce the party control, CCP labels unfriendly political voices in Hong Kong, Tibet, as well as political leadership in Taiwan as a separatist element, influenced by so-called external forces, viewing them as simply unacceptable threats to its legitimacy and power. The report, however, has said that China is probably seeking to capitalize on the decreased tensions along the line of actual control to stabilize bilateral relations and to prevent the deepening of the US-India ties. It's noted that in October 2024, Indian leadership had announced an agreement with China to disengage from the remaining standoff ties along the LAC. The disengagement, it highlighted, had happened 2 days before a meeting between the Indian Prime Minister and President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the BRICS summit. It said that the meeting had marked the beginning of the monthly high-level engagements between the two nations. And the two sides in the meeting had discussed border management and the next steps in the bilateral relationship. And these included direct flights, visa facilitations, and exchanges of academics and journalists. However, it notes that India probably remains pretty skeptical of China's actions and motives. It has assessed that continued mutual distrust and other irritants almost certainly limit the bilateral relationship. The report has also detailed China's deepening military ties with Pakistan, a key ally. And Beijing has supplied advanced weaponry, included frigates, with 4 delivered to Pakistan in the last decade, and combat aircraft. The China offers 3 main combat aircraft for export: the 5th generation FC-31, the 4th generation J-10C multi-role fighter, and the China-Pakistan jointly produced JF-17 light combat aircraft. And WION's assistant editor for foreign affairs, Siddhant Civil, has sent us this report from New Delhi. Listen in.
A key Pentagon report has highlighted as to how India-China relationship remains fragile. We know that last year saw both leaders meeting, and since then both sides have taken concrete measures in terms of increasing people-to-people engagement. That includes direct flights as well. Now, essentially, we know that this report also points out as to how there is increased military-to-military relationship between China and Pakistan, with Chinese side giving Pakistani side fighter jets, frigates, and also keen on establishing a base. Now, we know that these all facts are well known, but the fact that this is presented in a report by the Pentagon to the US Congress is significant, and of course it will be taken note of. But it is important to remember that US has also played an important role in arming Pakistan. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Civil for WION in New Delhi.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.